Hello and welcome to Live Coding Afternoon Tea. I'm Travis Toulson, also known as Alley Cat, LCat. It's a show with many names, but one purpose: to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. And yes, I'm stealing from Miss Frizzle. Hello Claire and Sohail, welcome. Today we're picking up where we left off last time, which is I am currently building out a troubleshooting tool for C3. Basically, at the booth, we run into issues sometimes. It's an imperfect app. There are problems that crop up, and we have to support that from the booth. And right now, most of our actions are done from the profile record, and we come in here and we'll click some UI actions or make some changes to fields. And it requires a lot of expert knowledge you have to know how the app works to be able to fix it. And one of the things we want to do is extend a little bit of, maybe not necessarily self-service, but basically expose a tool that can help us provide more of a tier 1 support. And that's the goal. So far, we've created a very basic form to look up the profile by email address. And I have some ideas for where to go from here, which is an improvement from last time. So before we kick off on the actual build out of that, I just wanted to go ahead and let everybody know that tomorrow is our Tech Now Zurich. So I am wearing my Yokohama shirt for one last time before we roll into Zurich season. And yeah. If you have not registered, please be sure to click over and register. I am sure one of my compatriots in chat will be kind enough to help me, since I didn't prepare enough in advance to have that link ready to go. And yes, Claire, the only person who can fix it is the one that built it. Always the shining beacon of a good app right there. Oh, there we go. Laszlo for the win. Oh, I remember that link now. Thank you, Laszlo. So, with that, let's dive in. So the thought that I had on this, initially I was going to build out a lot of this stuff in Service Portal. It will continue to be in Service Portal, but I need some backend tables to support this. So basically the idea that I have is that there's going to be maintenance actions that you can perform. And those will be, initially they'll be similar to UI actions. In the long run, I could see them also linking to catalog items so that you could fill out a form and, fill out a couple fields before submitting. So I'm going to have this list of maintenance actions, and those actions could kick off flows. Maybe they'll kick off scripts. Some of that will be to be determined later. Initially, we'll execute a script. The other aspect is that when you click on one of these actions, I want to log it. That's one thing we're really missing right now, is the ability to know how many fixes we've done and what things we've been fixing and what things we have encountered. It would be really nice for us to know where our app is getting stuck the most, so we can dig into it and, spend our development time that we've got focusing on those particular issues. So today I'm going to start by building out some of those tables, and then we'll go from there. Let's get the right view going here. All right, so to this end, I am going to go, for better or worse, to ServiceNow Studio. And I say for worse just because I'm inexperienced with it. I am old and curmudgeonly and have been bitterly clinging on to the old studio for as long as possible. But it's time I do the responsible thing and start using our new technology. So CreatorCon C3. Christy's doing an active joining us today. Let's see. Ooh, 92 out. Christy, why are you out walking? That is not a time to do such things. Of course, I'm a total hypocrite in that because I run when it's 95 degrees out. All right, so bear with me as I refamiliarize myself with an interface I haven't used in a while. Let's see. So what I need to do is I need to create a table. So we'll create a file. I've got my app selected, and we should be able to just go, if I can type correctly, table. Table. There we go. When you learn that you can open the records directly from code search results, that's nice. Yeah, there's a lot of features in the new studio that I absolutely love. Like, literally the only reason I haven't switched to it for everything is just simply because curmudgeonly. Just, I have a hard time adapting to the new technologies sometimes. I get stuck in my old ways. I was kind of expecting Table Builder to pop up, but it didn't, and I don't know. I kind of don't mind that because I still get to use the old thing. All right, so we'll call this a maintenance script. We will create a module for it. I don't need it to extend any tables. So this table is going to be where I actually house these scripts. And the way I'll surface this is there will be a condition script to determine whether or not it should show. And there will be the execution script. We'll keep it real simple to start. And basically, I will surface these actions in this interface when the profile matches the condition. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a name because you always have to have a name. I'm actually going to go with translated text on this one. And this is a habit I've been trying to build, is relying on the translated text more than the string, just so that I can, especially for something that's going to be surfaced in Portal, you want that name to be translatable. You want to be able to provide localization for it. So I'm going with the translated text there. We'll give it the 255 if I can remember how to do it properly. There we go. So we'll have a name. Got to have the active. From there, we'll do a translated text, I think. Yeah, we'll stick with translated text there. And we'll make that one 4,000. So description is something that I think I might surface in Service Portal as well. I think I can see that being useful. So we're going to include it from the start, and if I don't need it, I can get rid of it later. Let's see. Then we need a condition script. Does anybody know the difference between script and script plain? It is a question I have had for a long time and have never bothered to go answer. How does work on... I'm not sure I understand your question, Christy. Oh, how does translated text work on mobile apps? Yeah, Christy, that's what you get for doing this while walking. You know, I'm not entirely sure how translated text works on mobile because I haven't messed with localization. My experience with mobile is limited. We'll have to get David Merchant for this one because I'll bet you he could tell us how translated text works on mobile. I know, but I don't know mobile. It will work in Service Portal on mobile because Service Portal is responsive. It's the same interface either way. Let's see. So we've got, I'll go ahead and take this question. We're not really using UI Builder today for the current purposes, but UI Builder is our new builder interface for creating internal sites. It's not new Service Portal because Service Portal is primarily used for end user interfaces. UI Builder is for designing internal user interfaces. So that's our new tool using the Next Experience framework. Really, Gabby? Really? Thank you, Earl. Gabby, you are a problem. Every live stream I'm on, you're a problem, Gabby. All right, so we've got our maintenance script table. I do like to update some of these. I like to open my stuff up just because unless I have to lock down the app, I like to open it up. Controls. Okay, all right, so we're good on all of that. I'm happy with all of that. All right, so now that I've got my maintenance script table, I need to create another table for my maintenance actions. Okay, I got to show that again. I love the recents here because I just created a table that that particular object appeared in the recents, so I didn't have to go searching for it again. That's a nice touch. Way to go, studio team. Maintenance action. All right, so this table is going to be where we actually log those actions that occur. Let's see. Do I want this to inherit task? No, I don't think I want this to inherit task. I think we'll leave this one as just a regular old table. So, though I do want auto number on it. That's fine. All right, so we'll get the auto number going. Oh, Earl answered my... So Earl answered the question, what's the script plain versus script? And script plain is just a text field. So I guess script plain must be the old school that we used to have to use back in the day. Auto number with emojis. No, Gabby, we're not doing. All right, it's tempting, but no. All right, so I do need a reference to the maintenance script. And for now, I'm going to, I want the profile as well. What profile it was done on. And that's this one. All right, so this table is going to log which maintenance actions were performed on which user profiles. And we'll keep this one simple for the time being. We'll open up access to external apps and submit. So Studio got smart, and the only way to emoji auto number is to go with the old UI. Preventing Gabby from being a problem is a feature, not a bug. So we had a question on why I used 255 as the length. So 255 is the upper bound for a short, for a short single line text field. So as soon as you go to 256, it will convert it into a text area multi-line. So I like to set it for 255 because you're less likely to run into those little quirky issues of, you know, your string getting cut off because you didn't make it long enough, sort of thing. So realistically, is 255 probably too long for my purposes? Yes. But I tend to err on the side of having more space for my text rather than less, and I can always deal with the overflow in CSS. All right, so now we've got the maintenance script and the maintenance action. I actually think I made a module for, well, let's stay in Studio and try to retrain myself. I think I created a module for maintenance actions. I think I need to refresh, maybe. Yeah, I did make a module for that. And I actually don't think I want one. Let's remove that one. All right. Yeah, when in doubt, hard refresh. All right, so we've got our two tables. So the next thing I want to do is I do want to create the first maintenance action. For the first one, got to refresh this one too. For the first maintenance script, sorry, maintenance script is what we're doing. All right, so the first thing we got to do is fix this form. That's because that layout is not okay. We're going to go 2-column here, shuffle name up. We're going to do a second section. No name for it. I don't want a label for this section. Okay. We'll drop the condition script down. We'll drop the fix script down. And we'll shuffle active over there. We'll shuffle name up there. Why does it keep moving name? Let's see how that did. Ugh. Okay, merged. All right, so it was forcing me to have a label, and by merging it with the one above, I got rid of that issue. So reload, and now that new section tab will go away, and that is what I wanted. Next thing, I need active to default to true. Update. Probably could have done that in the form builder while I was there, but all right, condition script, fix script. We'll deal with those later. We'll deal with those now. All right, so for script fields, I like to do the anonymous function the way that business rules do now. Or the self-executing anonymous function. Yeah, okay, I'll add the semicolon so it doesn't yell at me. So one of the cool things about doing the self-executing anonymous function is that as you add different variables that you can use within the function, we'll do this in the GlideScopedEvaluator when we get there. But one of the things that you can do is you can turn around and you can add those variables into your default condition script, similar to the current variable in business rules. And so it makes it a nice self-documenting way for your users when they're going in to create these types of scripts. So back in the day, business rules didn't have the self-executing anonymous function, and it was an addition that I was very happy to see. In hindsight, I probably should have done a condition field as well on this table, because that way I could have it match the profile. I'll have to think about that one. We may add a condition field to this one as well as we move forward. I'll start with the scripts. We'll keep it simple, just to kind of keep things moving along. All right, so we've got our tables. Let's go ahead and create our first maintenance script, which is going to be enable profile for event. This profile is not active for the current event. Click this action to activate it. So next, I need a script. So right now the script doesn't do anything because we don't have anything executing it. But one thing I do know is that I'm going to inject profile into it. That's a given. And when we get to the GlideScopedEvaluator part, I will show you how I make that happen. So Chad is currently talking about how Earl does like chat to voice in one of his previous streams. And yeah, we're not going to do that here. I don't think I could work with y'all talking to me in the background. I would be completely distracted the entire time. So, all right. So for this one, so the condition script is going to return a true or false when we're done. And for this one, we're going to do return true will be the default. Or sorry, return false will be the default. If profile dot, I need to open this up real quick and look at one of my profile records because I don't remember. It's just current event. I think I want this one. And if I remember correctly, I think it's stored as a 1. We're gonna have to figure that one out because I can't remember what the get value pulls. I think it's 1. It could be the string true. I probably actually have it documented in a blog article of mine that's fairly old, but are we going to make similar cards for Knowledge 26? That is a fantastic question. So back to the script. Maybe. You will have to wait and see. You will know when the announcements are made. So we are bringing it to World Forums, though. So we had we were doing card printing at the World Forums in Australia, and we had digital ones at the CreatorCon India, and we will be bringing it to the remainder of the World Forums as well within our current plan. Let's see. If profile current event is equal to 1, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. There's your answer. We were told it. We were told if we do it at Knowledge 26, it has to be next level. So we're currently putting together our ideas. So if current event is false, if get value is equal to false, so basically a profile has to be active and it has to be marked for the current event in order for that profile to be eligible to submit photos and generate their avatar. So if those two things aren't true, then they won't be able to use that part of the app. So, hi, Alan. Yes, we are streaming these to LinkedIn now. We may do some changes on how that's done in the future, but right now it's going to my LinkedIn. Or my episodes are going to my LinkedIn. Let's see. So if the current event is false or the active is false, then this condition is matched. And what we will do, once again, is we're going to inject the profile into this script as well. It seems to make sense. profile dot current event equals true, profile dot active equals true, profile dot update. All right, so those are the scripts we're going to work with for this particular one. I do want to add this to each of the defaults. And so now when these scripts populate the default value, anyone who is creating a maintenance script will know that they have access to the profile record. All right. So we now have a maintenance script that is active and ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is jump back over to our service portal, because what we need to do now is I'm actually going to end up getting rid of a lot of this more. Well, no, because we still need to get profile by email for search purposes. We still need to get roles. Okay, maybe I'm not doing a daggone thing here. Maybe I'm just... Yeah, okay, that actually still works. I don't have to change anything there. What we do need to do, though, is we do need to get a list of those maintenance scripts. Now, let's create a script include for this. Service portal widgets, especially ones that are already starting in the 100 lines of code range, service portal server scripts can get rather cumbersome. So I usually try to err on the side of caution, and when I see areas for script includes, I just go ahead and create them from the start. For working with C3, welcome to Live Coding Afternoon Tea, where you get to continually watch me misspell maintenance. All right, so get maintenance scripts for profile. All right, so we're going to pass a profile GR into this particular function. And what this function is going to do is it's going to query our maintenance script table, get all the active ones, filter out the ones that don't apply for the current state of the profile, so that we can show those maintenance scripts in the portal. Oh, dang. I just went to do the shortcut command for Now Assist because I was going to have Now Assist script out my GlideRecord for me, but I forgot we don't have that turned on in this instance yet. Do we... I have to change that. We got to fix that. All right, so. Yep, I did misspell it as talking about misspelling it, and I will continue to misspell it, and probably while talking about misspelling it. All right, so now I have to write this GlideRecord the hard way. So I'm going to grab my table name. Yeah, we'll do a let. I'm going to resist the urge to name my variable gr, especially if I only have one single glide record within the function, and when I'm doing a really good job of single purpose functions. I don't care if I name my variable gr. As long as I know what it is and as long as it's clearly communicated, I'm happy with it. But I'll do it according to the best practices just this one time. So add query active is true. One of the things that I absolutely adore about being able to use AI to help me write scripts is that I'm terrible at typing. Like, I make so many typos, and AI is much better at correcting my stuff. Let's see. Active is true. Actually, I think that's the only thing I care about. Oh my goodness. I am misspelling everything today. Next. See, and despite the fact that I've been leveraging AI extensively recently, I do in fact still remember how to use GlideRecord. Let's see. So I'm going to want to return well, first we need to check the condition script. So we're going to need the GlideScopedEvaluator for this. I'm going to pull up the developer site on this one because that is an API that I don't use enough to know by the back of my hand. I remember the gist of it, but the gist is not sufficient. Okay. All right. There we go. Cool. Okay, so basically the gist of GlideScopedEvaluator, and I'm going to boost this up for y'all. The gist of GlideScopedEvaluator is that it is the API that allows you to execute these arbitrary scripts. Now, back in the day, you could hand this API like the text of the script, and it would do it. In the newer versions of GlideScopedEvaluator, you have to pass it a glide record and the field name that contains the script, and it will execute the script within that field. You can also, using the put variable, you can add specific variables from your orchestrating script. You can pass those variables into the script that's being executed, such as our profile. So that's what we're going to do here. I am actually going to do a function is condition we'll do check condition. I don't feel like that's the best name for this, but let's see. I do say GR is okay, and I like to use it. Earl's with me. All right, so we're going to grab this evaluator. I am going to need a put variable. I'm just going to copy that whole script. which tab am I on? There we go. All right, so I'm going to change that var to let. Does it matter in this case? Probably not, but I like consistency. So we are going to pass the profile. I'll pass it in that way. So evaluator, put variable profile. So this is what's going to add our profile GlideRecord object into that condition script. And in case you're wondering, this is the one that actually gets the value initially because it's executing outside of that function first. So basically the profile object gets passed into the anonymous function here, and that's how you get access to it in there. So I'm going to get rid of the gs.info, and we are going, oh, I also need to pass the maintenance script gr into here. I really should profile gr across the board. I should probably do it in my condition script and my other thing too. We'll make that change. I like tagging the gr at the end just because it gives you an indication of, you know, what to expect in that particular variable. You know, it's not just a plain object. So, oops, wrong one. So we're going to, so in the evaluate script, we're going to pass the record that contains the script field and the name of the field that contains it. So we're going to execute that condition script. And if I remember correctly, I believe the return value gets returned out. I don't think I have to do the get variable. I am pretty sure what I can do is now I could have just returned the result up here inline, but one of the things that I've encountered when using GlideScopedEvaluator is that a lot of times you want to add some error handling or some additional checking after the fact. And to that end, I usually preemptively assign it to a variable first because I'm depending on how things go. When we were building out the achievement engine in C3, we had to use GlideScopedEvaluator to process those scripts. So one of the things I encountered was that when I threw an error inside of the script I was executing, GlideScopedEvaluator was swallowing the error. So one of the things that I had to implement was, for lack of a better way of putting it, a Node.js style return, where I would basically have like a result success, or I would have, or passing an error first sort of thing. So I had to return something that indicated whether it was successful or not, and if not, what was the error associated with it. I may end up having to do the same thing here because there's nothing worse than having your executed script fail on you and having no idea why. But I am going to go through the lesson learned again so that you guys can see it. Let's see. All right, so what we're going to do here is if this dot check condition maintenance script gr profile gr which, now that'll stay. If not, continue. So basically, if our condition script fails, ignore it, keep going. Otherwise, what we're going to do is build an object. So we'll build us an array of scripts. And we will push a new one. Name.toString. All right, so what do we got? We got name, we've got description. This is one of my favorite things to abuse UI or AI on, because it's pretty good at building out these objects. Description. I actually don't think I need to pull the fix script client side. I think I just need name and description, because we're just going to sysid. We're going to want to execute this script, which means we're going to have to get that record again. I'm putting it up top. All right. And then while loop, return scripts. All right. We'll save that. Then we'll jump over here. And I'm going to get that. We'll pull that script include in. Is equal to what was that function name? Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Oh, bummer. I don't want to have to query that again. All right. Okay, so basically, I'm building the profile here, the profile object here, and I'm dropping the profile GR inside of this query. So I'm going to take all of this and yank it out. If profile gr.next. Actually, I want that whole if statement. because what I want to return from this one is profile GR. We're just going to break all of our scripts. And then I'll build a separate function that takes profile GR. Should work. Okay. So now I can do profile gr equal to get profile by email. And then get profile object. So now I can pass profile gr to this script, save it, and with any luck, when I do a search, I should have if I log my scope out, nope. Let's try again just to be sure. Let's see, but I'm not getting any errors though. Input and input dot action equals search. Get profile by email. What could be the issue? Let's just add a quick console statement just to make sure we're actually hitting the script. Okay, so we are hitting it. Let's comment out the new guy. Let's see. Response data profile. Oh, okay. That's right. I'm doing some asynchronous processing here, so it might not be mapping directly. So basically, I'm calling c.server.get when I hit that search button. And so it's not actually mapping it directly back to the data object. It's actually mapping it to profile. So let me actually log response here. And we are winding down on time, but I want to try and get some kind of success out of this. All right, so there's my response. There's my data. There's my profile object. So now let's add that back. I scheduled this for 2 hours. We will see about that. All right, so my maintenance scripts array came back with nothing. But I did get an array. Let's see. Let's reload that real quick. So for a moment, let's get rid of our check condition. I got a feeling that might be causing our issue. So we're going to see. Yes, the lives do get published, so you will be able to see that under the live tab on our YouTube channel. Okay, so that time we did get a maintenance script, description, name, sysid. So we've got our object, so that means the problem that we are encountering is in that check condition. And I am going to I know why. I have to break my profile first. Okay, so remember, this condition script is checking to make sure that either active or current event are not checked. So I would expect to see an empty array there under that previous condition. Now if I search, nope, still empty. If current event is true, okay, so this is, let's try false. So I think the next problem is within the condition script itself. Because our profile now matches what we're expecting the condition script to run. So now I'm going to run under the assumption that 0 is not the value I'm looking for. Nope. So this is where things start getting a little bit more tricky because now I basically have to come in here and do like a GS dot I don't know what our logging level is, so I'm going to go with warn. We're going to say profile. So I need to check on that value when we run this. And this is where that troubleshooting into those scripts can be somewhat challenging. Warnings. Profile is not defined. Return false. It's profile GR. In my script include, we are passing it as profile GR, not as profile. So I do have to update those inside of the script because that's the name of the variable that we assigned it. And this should fix it for us and hopefully get me to the stopping point I am looking for. Oh, search. Nope. I have to change it everywhere else. Search. And still nothing. I don't want to end in a broken state. Okay, there we go. Profile current event. Oh, it was 0. I actually was correct on the internal value being 0 for false. So now, one last go at this. And there we go. So we now have our maintenance script showing up. And if I go back to that profile, and we're going to make it so that it doesn't match the condition that we put in our condition script. So we've got one maintenance script off of the previous search, and off this search, we should get 0. And there we go. We have an empty array for maintenance scripts. So it is success. The GlideScopedEvaluator is successfully evaluating that condition script. And now we can begin to populate on this widget, we can begin to populate out the list of maintenance actions that can be performed given the condition scripts. And that will make it easy for us to search a particular profile email and find relevant actions that can be taken on it. Now, we still have to implement the UI side of it. We still have to implement the side that executes the maintenance action script because we want to log that maintenance activity. We want to execute the script in order to perform the fix. So there are still some things we need to improve and enhance about this, but we have the basic data model to work off of, and the initial steps of it are working for us. We've got the GlideScopedEvaluator working. And so we've accomplished a fair amount today in terms of getting this particular tool stood up. I am going to happily call it for the day so that we can end this on a good note. I always like it when we solve problems and don't end with problems that we have to solve tomorrow. So thank you all for joining, and be sure to be on the lookout for our other live coding episodes, live coding 11Zs with Earl, and live coding second breakfast with Christy, and also the unofficial live coding happy hour. And if you have not already, be sure to register for Tech Now, which is tomorrow morning. So be sure to be on the lookout for those things. Thank you all so much for joining, and we will see you next time.